Alright, so in the previous video we cut a building section really quickly to get this detail view. Didn't really clean up the building section very much. Just wanted to use it as a vehicle to get this detail view. And now we have this call out and we want to go to that call out. You can go to the call out by double clicking on the blue hyperlink to the view, or you can expand your detail views over here and double click on it here. I'm just going to double click on this blue call out. It's going to take me to the detail view. We've got a bit of cleanup to do here before we can start working on it. If we zoom in on the area we want to work on, it doesn't really look like much. So let's start sort of adjusting this guy. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the detail level from coarse to medium. And that's going to show me a lot more information, right? It's going to show me the layers of the floor, which are kind of strange looking right now because we're missing some hatches that we're going to fix. And then it's starting to show me a little bit more information about what's there. The next thing I'm going to do is change my scale, and I'm going to change this to 1 to 10. Okay, and that is going to rescale the objects and also all of the text. So now we're getting a little bit better version. And we can begin to see some of the things that we'll need to clean up previous to working on the annotations. So if I go and take a look at what we're going to be working on, I'm going to kind of put it over here for right now. This is what that is supposed to look like, right? And so we're going to go in and add these pieces and parts in here, and we're kind of close, you know, like there's the topping slab, and then you have this guy is the thermal insulation, and then we've got the decking right here, and then we're going to add these as annotations. A couple of things we're going to adjust are the hatch here and the hatch here. We need to clean up this cross brace down here before we get started, and we need to adjust the view range. So the view range, we're seeing some things in the background here that we don't really want to see, so we'll do that first, and then we'll begin to sort of fill things in. Also, we haven't put in these cross beams yet, so you don't see them, so we'll just kind of annotate them in for now, which will be fine. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide a few things. So if I come in and I pick this guy, which is a cross brace that's being sort of sectioned, we don't really want to see that, so I'm just going to select it, right click, and hide in view element. And then this is another cross brace that's coming towards us, and what I want to do is I want to lower this down so I can cope the whole thing into this beam because it's supposed to be welded directly to that beam. So I'm just going to select that, and down here at the end attachment I'm going to type in 14,000, right, and it's going to pop that thing down lower below that, which means I can now use this beam to cope and cut this one. So if I go to the modify command, I can come in and I can go to cope, and it's going to ask me select the element to be coped, so that would be this piece, and then select the element to cut it or cope it with, and I'm going to select that piece, and it's going to clip that guy right up to the top. Okay, so now we've got this cleaned up a little bit here. I'm going to turn off the reference planes by selecting them and typing VH. Maybe I'll turn on the level over here so we can see the level and the level 2. And then I'm going to adjust the far clip offset. I could go in and hide all of this stuff, but oftentimes you'll have more information there and you'll need to hide it quickly. And the far clip offset is set to the same as the original building section. So you can see far clip settings, same as parent. And what we want to do is make that independent. And let's change this to 5,000 instead of like 30,000-ish, and you'll see it'll just clip everything out. So it's just basically moved the view range, the Z, closer to us. So now we're getting, you know, pretty close to where we need to be in order to start to do work. And then you can adjust things, you know, as you need. You know, I could, for academic purposes, I can, you know, pick this guy and maybe move those guys out here, you know, so you don't see them going through the object, and then turn this one off over here. Let's go ahead. Oops, this guy, get rid of him, so it just looks like that. And then the next thing that we'll start to do is we'll start to go in and do some detailing in here. The first thing we're going to do is fix the hatches on this floor, just so you know how to hatch, and then we'll start dropping in some annotation detail components. All right.